Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Soraya Mia. The distribution of seats between Pakatan Harapan and Barisan Nasional for the upcoming state elections has been finalized. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who is also Pakatan chairman, says he has met with Barisan Chairman Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to settle seat allocations between the two coalitions.
Ini saya ada maklumat tambahan sikit. Saya lihat tiga negeri itu sangat kuat, boleh bertahan insya-Allah, dan kita boleh sekarang ni nampak menjurus kepada kedua negeri lagi. Yang itu saya akan umumkan pada masa. Hari Jumaat memang ada satu perhimpunan besar di Selangor. Baru kita luncurkan jentera secara rasmi.
Anwar also said there was no issue of overlapping seats so far. The three states under Pakatan are Selangor, Penang and Negeri Sembilan, while Kedah, Kelantan and Terengganu are under Perikatan Nasional. The Election Commission is expected to hold a meeting on Wednesday to discuss important dates for the 6 state elections. Meanwhile, police have recorded statements from 22 people over the incident at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA, which involved Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Seri Tiong King Sing. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan says they have received 4 police reports so far. The 22 witnesses included 4 complainants, 12 officers from the Immigration Department, 4 auxiliary policemen from Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad MAHB, and 2 from tour agency companies. Hussein said police inquiry papers regarding the incident will be referred to the Attorney General's chambers for further legal instructions. Last week, Tiong had defended a Chinese national who was detained by immigration officers at KLIA. The traveler had arrived in Malaysia with her superior, a senior official of a Chinese government-owned TV station. Tiong claimed the officers demanded a sum of money to secure the traveler's release from detention and permission to enter the country. The Light Rail Transit 3, or LRT3, is expected to start operation in March 1st, 2025. According to Transport Minister Anthony Loke, work on the new line, which will connect Johan Setia LRT station in Klang to Bandar Utama station in Sungai Buloh, is nearing completion, with progress on the project now at 86%. 20 stations were planned for its first phase of the LRT3. Loke noted that the line would connect a number of bustling districts in Klang, Shah Alam and Petaling Jaya to the overall Rapid KL Rail network through 2 interchange stations. Once operational, the line will be able to transport up to over 18,000 passengers per hour. The 37-kilometer-long LRT3 line is expected to serve over 2 million residents in the western corridor of the Klang Valley area. The government has no immediate plans to draft a law that would impose fines on social media firms over fake news. Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fazil said his ministry will focus on consistent and proactive engagement when it comes to holding these platforms accountable.
Sebelum ni kita telah adakan pertemuan dengan sama ada TikTok di awal, pihak Twitter, Meta, dan terkini Telegram, dan petang ni insya-Allah kita akan bertemu sekali lagi dengan pihak Meta selepas aduan yang kami terima juga daripada pihak Bursa Malaysia.
In March, Bursa identified several Facebook pages that had misinterpreted its CEO Datuk Muhammad Umar Swift. It had lodged a complaint with the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission asking that it speak to Meta over fraudulent advertisement on its platform. We'll go for a quick break. Stay tuned.
Family Feud! Come on! Apa ciri-ciri seorang lelaki? Apa jawapan Ahmad? Kerja.
Keyakinan.
Mana nak tahu?
Cengaru.
Husband pada Astro.
Husband.
Mendamaikan.
Pandai kelakar. Kelakar. Handsome.
Dan meriah. Family Feud Malaysia. Isnin 11 malam di Astro Ria dan Astro Go.
Welcome back. Japan has won approval from the UN's nuclear watchdog for its plan to release treated radioactive water from the tsunami-wrecked Fukushima plant into the ocean. This is despite fierce resistance from neighboring countries and local residents. After a 2-year review, the International Atomic Energy Agency says the release will have a negligible impact on the environment. The Fukushima facility is running out of storage space for the water, which was used to cool nuclear reactors. China's foreign ministry in a statement today expressed regret over the hasty release of the UN report. It said that if Japan is bent on going its own way, it must bear all the consequences. Tokyo has not announced a schedule for the release, and the plan still needs approval from a regulator. Thailand's parliament today confirmed one Muhamad Noor of the Far South's Prachachat Party as Speaker of the newly elected House of Representatives. The veteran Muslim politician was nominated for the position in Parliament on Tuesday without any contender.
He was nominated by leading Prime Minister candidate Pita Limcharoenrat of the Move Forward Party, which won an unexpected victory in the May 14 election. His nomination took place in a parliamentary session as newly elected MPs gathered to select the new House Speaker, along with the first and second deputy speakers. Noor's appointment was seen as a compromise between coalition partners Move Forward and Pheu Thai parties, which have been at odds over the crucial post. The leader of the Prachachat Party vowed to perform his duties while being politically impartial. Noor is expected to table a joint session of parliament to decide on Thailand's next prime minister on July 13. His party joined Move Forward and Pheu Thai with 5 other allies to form a coalition of 8 parties, with a total of 312 seats in the 500-member House of Representatives.
In other news, 7 people were injured, 3 in serious condition in a car ramming and stabbing attack in Tel Aviv. As of now, there has yet been a direct claim of responsibility for the attack. However, according to Reuters, the suspected attacker is a Palestinian from the West Bank. Police said the suspect was driving a vehicle on Pinchas Rosen Street in Tel Aviv when he rammed into pedestrians standing by a shopping center. He then proceeded to get out of the vehicle and stab civilians with a sharp object. A Hamas spokesperson said the attack in Tel Aviv was a response to the occupation crimes against Palestinians in Jenin camp. At least 10 Palestinians have been killed in Jenin and 1 in Ramallah as Israel's largest assault in decades in the occupied West Bank enters its 2nd day on Tuesday. UN agencies raised concerns over the scale of Israel's assault, adding that first aid responders are prevented from reaching critically injured people. Hong Kong police have issued arrest warrants and a $1 million bounty for 8 prominent pro-democracy activists in self-imposed exile, a move condemned by right groups and Western governments. They have been charged with conspiring with foreign forces under the controversial national security law, which Beijing imposed on the territory in 2020.
Although the police cannot arrest them if they remain overseas, Hong Kong Chief Executive John Lee says that they will be pursued for life and urged them to return and surrender for a reduction in their sentences. The activists, including former lawmakers Nathan Law, Dennis Kwok, and Ted Hui, are now based in the United States, Canada, Britain, and Australia. These countries have suspended their extradition treaties with Hong Kong over concerns about the national security law. It criminalizes subversion, succession, collusion with foreign forces, and terrorist acts, and carries a maximum penalty of life imprisonment.
Now, China is tightening controls over exports of 2 key materials used in semiconductors and other electronic components starting next month. The move ramps up the trade war between the country and the United States over access to high-tech microchips.
Beginning next month, special licenses will be needed to export 8 gallium items and 6 germanium items from China. China's Ministry of Commerce said the restrictions were needed to safeguard national security and interests. Though China has said the new restriction is not aimed at any country, it is widely seen as a response to escalating efforts by Washington to curb China's technological advances, an effort joined by other countries such as the Netherlands and Japan. Experts fear that China's latest move could cause further disruption to global supply chains, with restrictions driving up global demand and costs of the metals. China is the world's biggest producer of the metals, accounting for more than 90% of gallium and 80% of germanium supply. They are widely used in semiconductors in communication equipment, solar panels, and electric vehicles, among others.
Over in Afghanistan, the Taliban administration has ordered all beauty salons to close within a month. The move represents further restriction on Afghan women's access to public spaces.
Beauty salons emerged in the capital of Kabul and other Afghan cities in the months following the Taliban's removal from power in late 2001, after the September 11th attacks on the U.S. Many remained open after the Taliban returned to rule 2 years ago, but with their signs and windows covered up. The administration said it respected women's rights in accordance with its interpretation of Islamic law and Afghan customs. Last year, authorities closed down most girls' high schools, prohibited women from attending universities, and prevented many female Afghan aid staff from continuing their work. Many public places, including bathhouses, gyms, and parks, have also been closed to women.
An official probe revealed that India's worst rail disaster in 2 decades was caused by faulty connections in the automated signaling system network. Officials say the initial collision occurred due to modifications made to the signaling circuit in order to address frequent issues at a nearby railroad barrier.
However, local railway staff did not have a standard circuit diagram, leading to a faulty connection when they tried to take the boom barrier circuit offline for repair. As a result of the malfunctioning system, the passenger train was directed onto the path of the freight train. The probe report said there were lapses at multiple levels in the signal and telecom department. It also noted that standard operating procedures were not followed during the repair work. The crash on June 2nd occurred when a passenger train hit a stationary freight train before derailing and hitting another passenger train from the opposite direction. The collision resulted in 288 deaths and injured over 1,000.
Instagram owner Meta is set to launch its new application to rival Twitter, known as Threads. The app is now available for pre-order on the Apple App Store and will go live on Thursday.
Meta has described Threads as a text-based conversation app that will allow users to retain followers from Instagram and keep the same username. It appears that it will be a free service with no restrictions on how many posts under a user can view. The move is the latest in a rivalry between Meta boss Mark Zuckerberg and Twitter owner Elon Musk. Last month, the pair agreed to a physical fight, although it is unclear how serious they were about meeting face-to-face. Meta's announcement of Threads also comes as Twitter announced its popular user dashboard TweetDeck will go behind a paywall in 30 days' time. The latter has also applied temporary reading limits per day, in what Musk said was to address data scraping and system manipulation.
That wraps up AWANI Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Soraya Mia, and good night.